Greetings everyone, and thank you for joining us on this week's edition of GTV. I'm Luke Wood and this is the news from Gyeonggi Province this week. A number of fabric dyeing factories were caught by the Gyeonggi Special Judicial Police by the act of burning illegal fuel, containing high doses of toxic chemicals, including dioxin, a first-class carcinogen. Something is burning in this dyeing factory in Yeongju, as we can see smoke coming out of this factory. Inside there are mountains of trash. Most of them are discarded clothes and scraps of fabrics and plastics. Incineration of large amounts of plastics is banned in Korea because it generates toxic gases. However, this factory has been using discarded clothes and plastics as a fuel for its machines without permission. They save 2 billion Korean won in fuel costs annually by using trash that costs them only 1/8 of the cost of normal bunker C oil. The problem is burning such illegal fuel generates a massive amount of dioxin.
다이옥신 등 오염물질이 심각하게 배출되어 있습니다. 1급 발암물질입니다. 그래서 이 주위에 인체와 환경에 심대한 영향을 미치리라 생각됩니다.
Another dyeing factory was also found burning 15 times larger than the legal amount of a similar fuel. The Gyeonggi Special Judicial Police uncovered 4 dyeing factories as well as 49 unlicensed waste fabric dealers using the supplied the illegal fuel.
폐섬유 외에 쓰레기를 다량으로 공급한 업체들에 대해서는 추가 수사를 진행할 예정이며 수도권 대기 환경 개선을 위해 지속적으로 단속 활동을 강화해 나가겠습니다.
The Gyeonggi Provincial Administration also plans to investigate the operation of waste incineration facilities for possible links with illegal fuel dealings. The consultants at the Gyeonggi call centre are often distressed by the callers who use foul language and even sexual harassment. To address their difficulties, a healing program will be introduced to help alleviate their mental stresses. This is the office of the Gyeonggi call centre. A caller starts swearing without preamble. The worst ones are sexual harassment, in which the caller even demands that the consultant call him back. A caller made as many as 4,500 calls since last year, interfering with the work of consultants greatly. During the last month, consultants received a total of 6,600 calls of verbal abuse and sexual harassment, over 30 calls a day by each consultant.
이제 대면을 하지 않는 콜센터이기 때문에 상담사에 대한 비방이라든지 성적 비하 발언이라든지 정책적인 그런 불만들을 많이 토로하시기 때문에 불편을 많이 겪고 있습니다.
The healing program will include the installation of oxygen generators and massaging chairs, as well as the redecoration of the common room and the introduction of a healthcare system.
상담원들이 행복해야 도민들도 행복하다고 생각합니다. 상담원들의 자기를 높여주고 특히 쌓였던 스트레스를 이렇게 풀어주는 게 중요하다는 뜻에서
It is hoped that the healing program will work to relieve the stresses of call centre consultants. Suwon City announced that it would develop a traditional Korean village in Suwon Hwasong, one of the major tourist attractions in Gyeonggi Province. This old fortress in Suwon is a registered World Heritage. Located in central Suwon, covering over 1 square kilometre, this residential fortress is visited by more than 500,000 tourists every year. To revive the ancient glory of the fortress village, the Suwon City government has been promoting the construction of traditional Korean houses in it since 2009. with not much success.
이제 한옥이라는 것이 굉장히 고가이고 또 생활에 불편하고 그러다 보니까 이제 그 한옥을 안 짓게 되죠.
Technical regulations on housing construction also played a part in people not wanting to build Korean houses. To alleviate such problems, the Suwon City Administration designated 160,000 square metres in the fortress, the area with most aged houses, as the special architectural area. The construction of any new Korean-style housing within this area will be entitled to a construction cost support of up to 200 million Korean won, as well as the application of much mitigated regulatory specifications.
수원 화성의 옛날 모습 재현을 위해서 수원 화성 인근에 한옥 촉진 특별 건축구역을 지정하였습니다. 지금보다 더 많은 관광객이 수원 화성에 방문할 것으로 생각하고 있습니다.
It is an ambitious plan that will take many years to complete, but the city government is determined to realise the restoration of ancient Korean villages, with real residents in this historical site. The green farm villages, supported by the Gyeonggi provincial government, are emerging as popular summer holiday destinations among children and their families. Each village offers a variety of programs with local characteristics. Young children are busy dyeing their handkerchiefs using natural pigments. Others create a book of flower petals and plant leaves. Afterward, they join a hunting of mudfish. These children are immensely enjoying doing things they had never done before.
처음으로 그 손수건 만들었을 때 재밌고 근데 좀 느낌이 이상했는데 그 만든 과정이 좀 재밌고.
There are 58 green farm villages in Gyeonggi province and the provincial government recommends them for some holidays. Most of these villages are within 1 hour travel distance from the province as well as from Seoul.
연중하는 프로그램으로서는 인절미 만들기, 천연 염색, 송편 만들기, 자식 만들기 등등 여러 가지가 있어요. 그리고 체험객이 원하는 대로 맞춰서 상품을 판매하고 있습니다.
Instead of crowded summer resorts, green farm villages might be an ideal place for summer holidays for children to enjoy and have memorable experiences. The free legal consultation services of Gyeonggi Province increased its number of consultants to provide more specialised legal services in many different fields. In this lawyer's office in the Gyeonggi Provincial Government Office Complex, a resident is receiving free legal consultation service. The lawyer listens to the visitors carefully and advises them how to solve the problem. Opened in 2009, the free legal consultation services has addressed the appointment of 83 new consulting lawyers this month, increasing the total number of consultants to 243. The number of cases dealt per day was only 5 when the services began, but it increased 5-fold to 25 as of July this year.
경기도의 이런 제도 취지가 상당히 좋은 것으로 사료됩니다. 앞으로 다른 지방자치단체에서도 이런 제도를 많이 좀 확대 시행해 나갔으면.
There are also consultation services in a number of fields other than the law in the provincial government building complex, including tax, employment and real estate.
상담위원 수가 늘어남에 따라 단절 없는 법률 상담이 가능해졌고 업무 부담이 줄어듦으로써 상담위원이 좀 더 친절하게 법률 상담에 임하여 도민들의 상담 만족도가 높아질 것을 기대하고 있습니다.
Any provincial resident can use legal consultation services free by making a reservation via the Gyeonggi Call Centre or on the provincial government's website. The free legal consultation services is one of the key elements of the legal welfare policies of the Gyeonggi provincial government. During the summer vacation season, there are many public institutes in Gyeonggi province which offer summer holiday programs for children. An interesting educational program of Gyeonggi Provincial Museum, in particular, is gaining popularity among children. The way Koreans used to move their body in reaction to the music in the old days is different from the way they do now. Children in this class learn how to dance to their traditional music, fantasizing that they are back in the days of ancient dynasty. This is an unusual program in which children can learn history through participating in the production of a historical play.
시각적인 거에 노출되어 있는 아이들에게 좀 자세히 관찰하는 관찰력하고 그리고 이제 역할 교육을 통해서 자기의 생각이나 의사를 표현낼 수 있는 그런 표현력을 기르는 데 도움이.
In this program, children study the paintings of the famous painters from hundreds of years ago and write a play based on what they see in them and perform the play themselves. This way, children learn history and traditional culture more realistically and actively.
우리 미나는 되게 자각이 딱딱한 존재로만 생각을 했던 것 같은데 여기 와서 선생님한테 미나에 대해서 설명을 들으면서 미나 안에 있는 유물들을 같이 살펴보면서.
Well-designed summer programs such as this one are providing children with both educational and enjoyable experiences during their summer vacation. No sooner has the wet monsoon passed that the scorching heat wave hit Korea. Both are the extremes that are hard to be enjoyed by both man and agricultural plants. As soon as they hear that the summer monsoon is over, farmers are busy laying the cover over the ground of pepper fields. They are determined not to repeat the damages they experienced last year caused by the heat wave.
탄저병 오고 병 오고 그러니까 아무 캐면은 수확이고 뭐고는 떨어질 수밖에 없고 걱정이고
The Korean Meteorological Administration forecasts that the heat wave will last until well into September this year.
특히 지금처럼 장마가 끝나고 폭염이 예상되는 시기에는 고온에 따른 병해충이 오기 쉽습니다. 때문에 적기에 방제를 하는 것이 중요합니다.
Different plants require different management. For rice, it is important to keep the paddy wet because the demand for water is highest when ears are formed. For field plants, use black sheets to cover the ground to keep the moisture from evaporating. Scraping the surface of the ground can also be helpful because water can be absorbed and spread better. Greenhouses must be kept well ventilated and shielded against sunlight to avoid heat damage.
농작물 관리도 중요하지만 농가들의 건강도 아주 중요하니까 낮 시간대에 폭염이 왔을 때, 낮 시간대에 아주 뜨거울 때는 이를 좀 삼가시고.
The Gyeonggi Provincial Administration will operate the anti-heat management headquarters until September 30th to help farmers prevent farm plant damage by the heat. Thank you for joining us on this week's edition of GTV. We look forward to seeing you next week.